Hi, I'm George from Games for Families, and this is your next family game. That is, if you like games, and if you don't, you've got the wrong video. Just warning you. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So we're going to be reviewing it and showing you how to play.
So the first thing to show you is this scenario book. The book is structured like an adventure comic, and each battle has its own special rules, different strengths of the different sides, and objectives. So the heroes have a particular objective, and the villains also have an objective which allow them to win. And finally it shows what terrain cards you'll be placing out. Now that's part of it, and the other half is the map. Now you can see, if you've played games like Imperial Assault or Descent, how simple this map is. It's basically 2 map tiles, a few little bits of terrain, and some places where you spawn. So it's really incredibly quick to set up. So here's a bit more of a close-up of the map. You've got the turtles who are set up, ready to play. You've got some different colours surrounding the squares. Very simple system. The yellow is slow terrain, so it's harder to move through. You've got some bits of orange which is just out of shot, but you have got some bits of orange around which are more difficult and unstable. You've got this which is harmful to go into. So, you know, there are various little things to think about when you're moving around, but it is not very complex, and it varies. The card system's nice because you can have different terrain, and you're not clogged up with loads of rules.
So basically this is the turtles set out, with all the turtles in a square and their unique special moves next to them. Let's zoom in on Mikey's dice, because he will be my first player for this round. So basically Mikey has his own dice, and he shares dice with the others. And this is where setup is important, because he takes the dice that are next to his one. So he'll take Leonardo's surfboard and Donatello's shuriken. So he'll do a lot of moving because his move stat is pretty high, and also he's got 5 of the move icons.
Each turtle can roll a number of different icons. Then actually each turtle's dice is unique. So this one, for instance, is a missile attack. This one's a hand-to-hand attack. This one is movement, and there's a few other ones. This one is a kind of meditation and healing, and this one is a defense one. And there's a few others, but that gives you a general idea. So let's focus in on one of them. Let's focus in on Leonardo. So Leonardo has got a hand-to-hand attack, a missile attack, and 1 movement. He's also got some health, and he's got some stats here, how much he can move, attack, defend, what his skill is, which is how many of these special skills he's allowed to put out, and focus, which is the number of rerolls he's allowed. Now, the other thing that adds flavour to the game is the unique abilities of each turtle. So, for instance, Leonardo's got leaping strike here. It doesn't really matter the details, but you can spend a couple of these icons, if you've rolled them, to do a really cool move. And so that really gives you the feel of the really cool turtles. Now, the dog's now eaten one of the turtles, so we need to just deal with that situation. Okay, so I'm going to show you a super condensed version of the gameplay. We're just going to activate 1 turtle, and all 4 turtles are going to activate, and then we're going to do 1 of the bad guy's turns. So we're going to activate Raphael. The reason for using him is that he doesn't share, so it's not confusing. And I've put his dice where he's going to activate them. Usually you'd put them separate to the board, but this helps you to understand. So first of all, he's going to use movement, and his movement is 3, so he's going to move 1, 2, 3 spaces, and then he's going to use a special move. This is Hurl Psi. I can just zoom in a little bit on that. There you go, and that requires 2 icons of the shuriken icons, and that is attack plus 3. His attack is 2, so he needs to roll 5 dice. He's targeting this guy. The range is 1, 2, 3, so that's fine. Trust me on that. And he has scored 2 hits. This guy has got a basic defense, just to move it into the picture, of 2. But he's also got an extra 1 defense from being near to Old Hob. If I just zoom out a bit, you can see also Old Hob, the bad guys team, have played a card that gives another bonus to the shooters of 1 defense. So in fact he's got 4 defense. He's defending against 2 hits, but he didn't roll any defense, so he's taken 2 hits. His life is only 1, so he's dead, out the game. And back to Raphael. He then uses another movement point. I knew that would happen. And then he moves adjacent to this guy, Old Hob, and he will fight Old Hob using 2 sword icons, which he adds to his attack rating of 2, and then he will roll 4 dice. So on this occasion he's rolled 4 hits, which is pretty good, and Old Hob has got a defense of 3, no bonuses for him, so he's going to roll 3. So he's only rolled 1 defense. He thinks, oh, this isn't good, I'm going to use a reroll. Roll 2 of them again. Didn't help him, so he's taken 3 wounds. So you can see now that Old Hob's down to 3 wounds, which isn't good for him, and we're going to play his cards. We're going to play. The bad guys team can play 2 cards. Okay, let's start that again. Okay, so you can see now he's down to 3 wounds, so he's got to do something. He's going to play this card, which means he could move, but he's not going to. He's just going to attack Raphael. He's got 3 icons on there, so he's going to use all 3 at once, add his own attack score of 1, and roll 3 dice. That's 4 hits on Raphael. Now, Raphael's got 1 more dice he hasn't used yet, which is a defense dice, and that adds to his sort of native defense score of 3. So he rolls a 4, and he has defended 2 of those, which means he loses 2 wounds. And then you would play another card. Let's say there is one of these brawlers around. So let's say this guy is here, and he's got a movement of 3. And he goes 1, 2, 3. Now he ignores this rough terrain. He's got special ability, but other people would get bogged down there. He gets across there. He's got 1 katana, adds to his 1 attack. So he only rolls 2, not very powerful. And again, you've got 4 defense for Raphael, but he's defended against only 1 against them. So Raphael might want to re-roll. So look, there he goes. He's increased that to 3, totally defended it, so he doesn't have to worry about being wounded. And that's the game. These 2 go back into that pile. These 2 cards here go into the pile of cards that I showed you earlier of bad guy cards, and you get a bonus to the brawler of 2 defense, which is going to come in pretty handy when Raphael turns around and starts beating on him. Alright, that's how you play it.
So, George, what do you like about Shadows of the Past?
It was good. I like the unique thing about the heroes sharing dice.
Yeah.
That was quite cool. I did like the mechanism for the bad guys, how the heroes roll dice and the bad guys, they still roll dice to determine their attacks, but then they don't roll dice to do their actions. They play cards, so that's a much more
so there's 2 different kind of things.
It's much more controlled. Or
that's right, yeah. So and as the bad guy, I mean, I think it's more fun to play as the turtles because you've got all the cool moves. And one of the things I like most is when you've pulled some kind of cool combo from one of your special cards.
Yeah.
And you sort of end up. Yeah, exactly. Totally
like that time I did
people.
when we first did this, and I was being Raphael, and I just like rolled loads of shurikens and.
Yeah, you completely mashed me.
Yeah.
You usually do mash me at this game, but on this occasion I did win.
Damn it! But it was inconceivable.
It was inconceivable. But so there's lots of really stuff to like the game. What I like about the game, compared to other games with miniatures like Imperial Assault and everything, is that it's quite quick.
You need to have a plan, but if you don't plan, it's very slow. But like you said, if you do, it's really fast.
Exactly. So you've got that phase of looking at your dice and planning what you're going to do with your go.
Yeah.
And with two people on the turtles go, that's also almost what I prefer if you've got two people playing the turtles, because then they've each got two turtles and they have to sort of plan and cooperate, but they're not waiting ages and ages for their go. So I think that's really, really. I think if you had 5 players with 1 person per turtle, then each person playing turtles would find that their go came around quite slowly.
Yeah.
Because the turtles' goes take quite a while, but the bad guys' go takes really quick. It's just kind of bang bang, 2 cards, that's it.
Yeah.
So I think
wasn't it 3?
2 cards.
Oh, you never told me that.
Oh well, there you are. Out of 5 for a family game, how would you rate this as complexity?
Probably a 3. It looked really complex, I know. When I first saw this game and I opened it out and I was like, man, this is going to be like, if I have to rate this is going to be a 6. But actually, I'd say it's a 3 because really all you're doing is rolling dice and then doing the dice's actions. There is planning.
Yeah.
And there's complexity because there's lots of different... I think there's just too many terrain stuff. That's a bit... Because
so the terrain introduces a lot of extra rules which are hard to remember.
And the other thing is how long your ranged attacks can reach without weakening.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's at least a 4. I still look up stuff in the rule book, and we've played this about 10 times now.
I know.
So.
And just another thing to add to complexity.
Go on.
I know, another. It's unbelievable. Is that you've got the special move cards that you have to read really carefully. Like the first time I thought pole kick mean just 3 spaces, but there's only 3 spaces in a straight line. So technically it wasn't a legal move.
So there's a lot going on in this game, and I would give it at least a 4, if not a 5. This is a complex game for a family game.
Sorry, I meant a 4 in my rating.
Next, how about fidget-free factor? How much does this game keep you engaged and stop you fidgeting?
3.
Okay, so
well, that's from my point of view. I just fidget a lot. For someone else's point of view, let's think. Probably for someone else's point of view, 4.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good because
I'm fidgeting.
You've got to have it really works well to have an adult as the bad guy and a number of kids or adults as the turtles.
Because the turtles are the best.
They are the coolest, and the bad guys go really quickly, and so then the turtles can take their time a little bit, and it's not too bad in terms. Okay. The next one is tantrum prevention index. So how well do you think people are going to avoid tantrums playing this game?
Depends.
Go on.
If an average person, probably a 4.
Okay, all right. I think it's pretty good because you're working as a team, so you're not being ganged up on, except if you're the bad guy, and you put the adult as the bad guy, so that's fine. And even if you lose, you've still done some cool stuff. Which brings me on to the other one, which is amaze balls. Amaze balls is that kind of feeling of, wow, that was incredible, I can't believe that happened. Does this game give you that feeling?
Yes, when I'm Raphael, I just go, oh, whoa, that was awesome. And when you did it when you were Old Hob and you rolled 8 attacks on Michelangelo.
Wiped out Michelangelo, and I won. That was amazing. I think that's right. This is a 4 for Amazeballs because it has a lot of those, wow, I've just rolled this incredible thing. Okay, 4.5. Okay. Now, George, quickly. So, George, overall, what would you give me this game out of 10?
I think I'd give it a 9. First time we did this, I gave it an 8.5, but I'm changing.
Okay, so you really like this game, and I really like this game. I'm going to give it an 8. I don't think it's perfect. I think that the figures could be clearer which turtle is which. That
I keep
annoys
telling
me.
you we have to paint them. I keep
I haven't
telling
got
you.
time to paint them.
I do.
The rule book rules can be a bit fiddly, and I'm still looking up rules, even though we've played this quite a few times.
Hang on,
now.
Daddy. I think we've done it like 7. No.
And the other
8,
thing that I
8.
would really like to be different about the game is you don't get the feeling of change. You're kind of fighting with the same people. They're not much more kind of powered up. I like the feeling in other games like Arcadia Quest or Imperial Assault, where you're ramping up every time. You're ramping up, getting better stuff.
Only with the good guys in Imperial Assault.
Yeah, but the bad guys are getting more powerful in
Oh
Imperial
yeah, because
Assault
you get
as well.
those special ability cards
So
that
I
you never use.
I forget. I would always.
Which is good because that means I keep winning.
I would like to have more progression in this game, to be honest with you. But it is a very strong game. I love the fact.
Actually, there is some progression because in that one, if I had won, I would have got an ally for the next
so you
battle.
can
But you
but
won, so you
not,
get another 2 focus.
Yeah, but that's not a big part of the game. I want it to be more. I want more from that.
Yeah, good point.
There are expansion packs. We're excited about those, but we haven't played them yet.
For Christmas.
Maybe.
And in the expansion packs, you get to have what you can have as allies as heroes.
Okay.
Which I think, personally, is really cool.
Excellent.
So you're not just playing the same heroes, same cards, same super abilities,
So overall,
same dice.
if
same
you want
stuff.
a kind of meaty family game where you can play an adult against a mixed group, really fun theme, doing cool turtle stuff, all about fighting, not really a kind of strategic game, just about fighting and combat. If you're into that and you think that's going to be fun, we recommend Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shadows of the Past. Yes, you can.
Yes!
Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. This is Games for Families, and this is our mascot. Anyway, I hope you enjoy, and leave anything you want to say in the comments below. Thank you very much.